We have released MXSuite version 3.4.2. In this video, I will show you some of the new features and inform you about some of the bugs that we solved. Before I start with that, I recommend you to subscribe to our channel to stay informed about the new features. First of all, it happened in the previous version several times when you try to open MXSuite that you got this page. That problem is solved now. So from now on, this will not happen anymore. We created an embedded viewer for PDF files, Word files, Excel files, images. So what you see here, for example, in this work list is that linked to this task, we have 4 documents. If I right mouse click on the item, I can show here the names of the documents. And if I open one of the documents, it will open within MXSuite without downloading the file. So you can scroll through this file now and see everything about this file. If you want to download, you still have the option here at the bottom. You can press the download button and you see the file is downloaded. The PDF file is downloaded here to my disk. For every task in the system, there is an option added to add the estimated cost. Like here, for this task, we have an estimated cost of 50 euros. So based on this information, you can make a total calculation in a report or in a dashboard where you can see all the costs involved in your maintenance on a monthly, yearly, quarterly based, just what you want to see. Another option that we added here is the option to see all the related orders. As you know, there is an option, if you right mouse click, there is an option here to create a requisition that will add all the spare parts linked to this task to a requisition. So the option that we added now here is here the option show related orders. So if I open that, I get in my overview all the orders that are linked to this task. And if I want, I can also open directly from here this purchase order and I can see the status. I can do anything that I want, but you can handle that directly from here. It also works the other way around. Here I opened already the purchase module. If I right mouse click on one of the orders, you see there is also here the option show related tasks. In this case, it's grayed out, so I cannot use it because this is not related to a task. But if you open that, you get an overview of all the tasks that are related here to this purchase order. In the assets parts module, we also made some changes. Here, for example, if I open this spare part with the control cable, you see that in the box here with the stock details, we added a new field with the unit. As you see here in the overview, at the moment we have 100 pieces on board of this ship. Now what I can do, if I go here to the administration units, I can create a new unit and I call that box of 10. I save that one and here in conversions, I add a conversion factor. So 10 box of 10 contains 10 pieces. And that's also explained here. One box of 10 means 10 pieces. Save and close. I close this. Now what happens now if I open this spare part again and I change this instead of pieces, I change it to a box of 10 and you can still see here that my actual stock is 100. I get my warning message that changing the unit will result in an update of the actual stock. I select yes, and now what happens? Box of 10 is my unit at the moment, and my actual stock is 10 boxes of 10, which means still 100 pieces. So this conversion factor is also used within the purchase module, that if you order a box of 10, then automatically the stock will be updated with 10 pieces. Another option that we added here in the parts module is that if you do an export to Excel, so you know that we have here this export button. If I click on that, I can enter the file name. Now let's call it test. Export is successful and the file is exported. But at this moment, only those 10 parts that are in this category, in my selected category, are exported now to this Excel sheet. Before, it exported everything of the entire parts module. So all the parts were exported. Talking about the export, also another issue is solved, and that is if you have here in the spare part itself, in the comments, if you have a very long text like I did that here, and you try to export that to Excel, sometimes it could happen that you get an error message. And the reason for that is that Excel has a limitation of 32,000 characters in one cell. So if the text that was written here was more than 32,000 characters, you got that error message. What we do now, if you export a spare part with more than 32,000 characters in the comment section, only the first 32,600 something characters are exported to Excel. So the total text could be truncated compared to the original text. As I have this spare part opened now, I can show you immediately also another option that we added here. Here in the supplier tab, you see also that we added here a new button, suppliers. So from here, you can immediately create new suppliers. So if your supplier is not yet listed, you can simply create here your additional suppliers or modify the existing suppliers that you have in your system already. We made also some changes in the project module. I take this task, the selected task, as an example. So when I open the task and I move my completion here to 5%, I have to fill in a remark. So this is my first remark, and I save that one. And now I'm able to save and close the task. And now in the overview, you see that the task is completed for 5%. When I open it now again, and I move it to 10%, you see that immediately here, the remark section, you see that red icon is appearing in front of the word remark. And now I have to fill in a new remark before I'm able to save my percentage to 10%. So this is my second remark. I enter that, I save that here, save and close, and now I'm able to save it indeed. So every time that I change something in the percentage completed, I have to fill in a remark. And of course, even when you do not change the percentage completed, you still can attach a remark. So if I add here the word test again, I can simply save that as well. But the idea is that every time that you change the percentage completed, you have to fill in a remark. And of course, this is only when the remark is marked as mandatory. We also added another option here in the project module. If I right mouse click on one task, you have the option to delete a task. Simply remove it here from the list. But now, for example, if I select two tasks and I do a right mouse click, I also have the option to remove two tasks immediately at once from the list with all the tasks. We also made a change in the purchase module. You know that there is an option here for every order line at any moment. Depends, of course, on your configuration, but to select the order line and press the button to reject this order line. Now, in that case, the order line is rejected. You can save and close this, this entire line, and it moves here to the status closed. As you see here, the status closed in my system is here at the end of my list with all the statuses. It could be in your case that the closed status, or maybe it is a rejected status, or how it is called, that is configurable, is anywhere here on top or anywhere in the middle. From now on, we are able to change that, so the rejected or the closed status can also be at the end. It goes too far for this video to explain in detail what is the reason for that and how that can be changed. I think the best thing is that if you have that situation and you want to have it changed, simply contact us about that. We also made some changes in the crewing module. Here in my planning, you see, for example, here with the AB Motorman, that here in March, someone is planned to be on board. But the motorman at the moment is not needed according to my safe manning. So that's why you see here the line in gray, not configured for safe manning till the end of my planning period that is visible on my screen. So if I move here from month number 3, so from March to month number 4 in April, you see that the entire motorman disappears here now from my list, so from the ranks that I see, because it is not planned in at this moment, but also it's not needed according to my configured safe manning. Secondly, what we also changed here in this new version is the configuration of this status bar. So the coloring with red, yellow, and green. What is changed at the moment is by default, the coloring is looking to all the crew members. So what is the status of the entire fleet of crew members linked to the vessel that you have selected here on top? What we did now here in the configuration for crewing, so if you go to administration, crewing, and then here to the settings, at the bottom there is here a new tick box. Crewing status should consider only employees signed on current location. If I enable that one, the status bar that is used here for the crewing, and the same one as you also see in the fleet-wide overview, is only looking to the crew that is currently on board. So not to the entire crew that is linked to that vessel, but only the crew that is, according to the planning, is at the moment on board of that vessel. Here in the FLGO module, we made some improvements with the print overview report. So as you see here, we have that report where you see the total consumption in any selectable period. The thing is that this report is loading much faster than it did before, but more important, the calculations are more accurate than they were in the past. In the synchronization module, we also made some major improvements. This is not something I can show you, but the thing is that as soon as you create a new package, the creation time of the package is much faster. Same with loading time. Loading the package is gonna much faster than it was before. The reason for that is that we use some newer technologies now in the synchronization. And the good thing is also that it uses less performance of the computer when you create or when you load a package. So that's a good thing. Another improvement also in this synchronization module is that sometimes it happened that some synchronization packages were left on the hard disk. So they were saved temporarily on the hard disk, and for any reason, they were still there for all the time and they were not deleted at all. So now there is an automatic cleanup process added to the synchronization that cleans all those old packages, checks if they are there. If they are there, they are deleted, and that saves disk space, of course. Last but not least, if you need any assistance with your MXSuite, or if you need any reconfiguration, for example, with the purchase module, as I mentioned before in this video, please do not hesitate to contact us. We are here to help you and to assist you with the use of MXSuite.